Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison. This is Kyle, Brust Nortman, KBN. Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Who stole the damn game ball? Who stole the damn game ball? That's what I want to know. 800-990-3776. Well, we kind of know. We kind of don't know. But Giannis continues to be disrespected. And I know Kyle ain't going to stand for it. Say something, Kyle.
Sure the hell ain't. Sure for sure not.
That's Kyle Wallace. I love you, Kyle. He doesn't like us as much, Brad Nortman. That's Brad Nortman, 6-time NFL punter.
That's true. I'm just glad I can do this for you with 3 hours a day.
He came in to our pre-show meeting and was like, I actually enjoy spending time with you guys.
Yeah, actually enjoy.
Actually.
I do. I'm starting to warm up to you both, where I can actually see a future of like hanging out outside of work. It's fantastic.
But only for short bursts.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, we're still growing, right? Like, you just can't let anybody into your life. You got to kind of,
That's true.
Be very, time and, figure people out.
What you'll learn
bonds.
is, like, whether you want to or not, like, I'm going to somehow force my way into your life. We'll be hanging out watching Packer games together, and
that's a little scary sounding.
I don't like that.
It'll be so much fun.
Force my way into your life.
Just popping up. Hey,
what up? What are we gonna do? If I knock on the door, you're just gonna leave me out?
I'm a open the screen. I'm not gonna open the screen. I'm gonna open the door and talk to you through the screen. Hey, buddy, how you doing? What
Brought over some cookies.
Oh, leave them on the porch.
I feel like this is something you can't push against Ben too much on, because I think that will fuel his fire to actually do it. And I do believe Ben would actually do it.
If and when I get married and start a family, I will be so happy to invite you both over. But
wait a minute, we're waiting that long?
Yeah, I mean, his poor girlfriend's been waiting that long. I mean, think about how she feels. She's been waiting that long.
And have a kid?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I work, man.
Dang.
Shout out to my lady for having patience.
Man, we got to earn it. We got to earn Kyle's friendship.
On Twitter, at KBN ESPN, on YouTube, on ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee. You can see Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Chris, please talk to the Madison folks. They did not do a great job with what we discussed. 12-14 KBN. We need something better than that. Talk to them folks.
I sent them the exact message we wanted to put for today's stream.
Who's to blame?
I sent it to Strophy and Ryan Wollersheim.
Picking their noses.
Ben is Ben is a savage. I am glad Ben is not my boss. As a matter of fact, I am glad Ben manages no one here.
Why is that?
Ben would drag.
I hold people accountable.
Can you imagine?
He would drag anybody and everybody. The 12Q scores for those who've been managed would all be below a 3.
So people don't know what a 12Q is, Kyle.
Well,
it basically measures the how you feel about how work is going under your manager.
And let me tell you,
it's a reflection of you.
Yours would be low, very, very low.
Hostile work environment.
Yeah, your best friend at work maybe, but then jerk you have to deal with at work, that would definitely be.
They would. I would be like the coach that everyone bonds together. You can talk crap about me. I don't care.
A common enemy.
Common enemy. But we're going to grow. We're going to get better. And you can talk crap about me to my face and behind my back. It's all good with me.
Could you imagine
What a
Ben
rallying
firing
cry.
somebody?
Oh, I could easily imagine that. Easily.
Look, you saw.
I don't even need to think that hard.
We
I
laid
can
out these
imagine
expectations,
that.
and you didn't meet them.
Yes, exactly what it is. Just
And
lay
you
it
need to
out
get
there.
out.
Lay it out there. The
Back
box,
up your stuff.
The box will be waiting when he gets back. When they get back to their desk, the
No.
box will be
I'd
waiting.
have the box waiting in the room so that when they leave, they'll be ready to pack.
Ben already sets the tone and expectation. When they walk in there, they see the box.
I think they'd be waiting for like one final compliment, like, but hey, we appreciate all you do. They'd be waiting for it, and Ben would just be like, that's all.
Alex
That's all I
Strofe
got.
of the Madison team chimes in, a great friend of show. Alex G didn't read his email. Call his ass out. Alex G, I know you spend time with Madison Radicals Ultimate Frisbee team, but it's off-season. And now that it's off-season, put the damn work into what your job is, and that is to help make content across ESPN Wisconsin look and feel as big as possible, and you are failing at that today.
Hey, whatever gets us numbers, I'm happy with it, Ben.
I mean, it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it.
With too many opportunities given, not earned.
Public call out. That's how Ben Brust manages.
Though I do agree with that.
There it is.
That is the reflection of the generation. Too many opportunities given, not enough. I earned my keep everywhere I go, baby.
Can I come over now?
You got to earn it.
800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line, because I do want to hear from you, because last night a lot happened, but I want to stick with what the first portion of the night was. After I got home from basketball, was blessed to come home to a ESPN 30 for 30, and Reggie White's story was on my TV. It was just, I was captured. And I even when they were talking after the highlights, I couldn't not think about what Reggie White did to the opposing offensive lineman. Like, it was the hump move is unfreaking believable. My man's would be the best defensive player in the NFL today in 2050, because he got him a speed, and then once they were a smidge off balance, see you later, get your ass to the ground, I'm going to sack the quarterback. He threw Chris Carter to Warren Moon. I mean, like, the guy is a freak, and he's amazing. Tell me something I don't know.
I mean, he's like legitimately like a grizzly bear. You can beat him with strength, speed, whatever it is. He's unguardable. I don't know. I couldn't imagine being those tackles, watching film, and then going against him in real time. That would have been ridiculous. I'm so glad he was a Green Bay Packer. Great man on the field, off the field. I can't say enough good things about Reggie White. Finally, that the nation is getting what they deserve, and that's a 30 for 30 about Reggie White.
I can't say anything bad about Reggie White, because Reggie White is just so incredible. And again, when I think about my childhood, nostalgic, It's Reggie White. It's Reggie White holding the trophy, but it's Reggie White being the minister of defense. But I'm here to tell you, Ben, Reggie White was incredible. He's one of the greatest of all time. But
don't you poo-poo my excitement for Reggie White right now.
The Green Bay Packers have had Willie Davis. They have had so many great defensive linemen, and to think that we were blessed with that, and Reggie White may not even be the best. But Reggie, he would not be the best defensive player of all time, but he's definitely up there.
I mean, man.
He's good.
And is there any doubt he would dominate today? He would dominate today, right?
I will say this. Reggie White's talent, his strengths would definitely translate to today's game.
We talked to Brian Balaga later today for a little crosstalk before the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN. I mean, like, I love Brian, and I know he was a great tackle.
He'll get humped on.
I mean, he would be humped to death.
Oh, yeah.
He would be. I mean, that's
Brian Balaga, Iowa, stands no chance against the minister.
No, you lose some, you win some, and the thing is,
you just lose them all.
The dude was, all-time sack leader. It was just incredible of what he did, and he didn't even start his career in the NFL. Let that sink in.
Well, and think about this, too. So on the field, what he's doing, unbelievable. Off the field, leader. I mean, he led those defenses. People don't realize that those defenses were some of the best in the NFL those years they went to the Super Bowl. Everyone remembers, Favre and all the fireworks that he produced, but those defenses were unbelievable, led on the field and off the field by Reggie.
So 800-990-3776. If you could take any former Packer and put him on this team today, who would you choose? 800-990-3776, or you can hit us on YouTube, streaming Kyle, Brust Nortman, ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee.
There's really no bad
offense
answers.
Or defense.
Honestly, there's no bad answers.
We've been blessed.
We have been blessed. And we were talking about who has the best NFL alumni team, and the Packers would be up there as far as the best overall alumni team. But thinking about this team specifically, this team, Reggie was tempting to say he would be the former player I would choose. But when I'm thinking about it, but you've got Rashawn Gary and you've got Preston Smith.
Hold on. Preston Smith's name and Reggie White's.
You interrupted me, Ben. I'm saying that.
Let him know. Put him in his place.
I'm not saying that they're the same as Reggie
Preston
White.
Smith.
Hold on. I'm not saying they're the
same as Reggie White. His old ass is on his way out.
I'm saying that they're good at pass rush. This Green Bay Packer team is good at pass rush. Generally speaking.
Yeah, they're so good that they sacked Tommy DeVito 0 times.
That's one game. It's not
Reggie White would have sacked Tommy DeVito 8 times.
It's not their weakness. Pass rush is not their weakness.
I agree.
So you look at this team, what is their weakness? I look at it and I see the other issue that was going on in the New York Giants game, and that was the run defense. Mm-hmm. They cannot stop the run. We've talked about this. There's no dude on the Packers. There's nobody tough. There's nobody angry. There's nobody that intimidates anybody.
So you're looking for the stop the run. Who are some of the run stoppers that could potentially help the Green Bay Packers?
So I think of the 1960s linebacker Ray Nitschke, the ultimate run stopper, tough, intimidating, fearing, hard-nosed. He will put the fear. He will stop the run. Just even by sheer will and sheer toughness, he will stop the run, and he will give the Packers defense the toughness that we haven't seen in a decade.
See, here's my thing about guys who play that far away, especially at that position. He probably ran like a 5.2 40. Like
you don't know that.
I mean, we could probably look up Ray Nitschke's 40, and the guys weren't flying like that back in the day. They were tough. Now, they were definitely
They probably
tough.
didn't even run the 40 at the combine back then.
And Ray Nitschke probably
assuming,
couldn't cover, so he had to come out the game.
Well, hold on. Are we saying that, like, are we taking just like the player, the quality of that player who's a Hall of Famer, and because he's like, he doesn't have the training and the diet that these guys have today. So you could put, we're taking that quality of linebacker, putting it on today's team. Is that fair?
Ooh,
Yeah, okay. I'll take that.
I think I see. Oh no.
I'll take that quality.
Yeah.
I'll take that quality of linebacker.
I don't think they ran the 40 back then.
They probably didn't. But here's the thing: if Ray Nitschke, that quality, and put it in today's game where he has the speed, he has the power, but he has that overall football player mentality that is like what made Ray Nitschke who he is. Absolutely, he's an enforcer.
An enforcer. Yep. Tough, angry. Intimidating, downright intimidating to the offense.
He was. I wish we had a guy like that who was more athletic. So I'm not mad at that pick.
I think, like I said, there's very few bad picks, and I just think that like if this defense could stop the run, and Ray Nitschke can, that was his thing. He will stop the run. And he would do this on
Joe Barry would find a way for him to fail.
He put him like 15 yards off the line of scrimmage.
He probably have him guarding. Hey, let's line you up with Bijan Robinson here.
He probably would. So that's not a bad pick, but I'm going to go with something.
And Chris, put it on Twitter at KBN ESPN, open-ended. Which former Green Bay Packer would you put on this team if you could?
So there's so many to choose from. Like so many, as you just said. And I really, this is so hard for me not to go down the list of like, I wanted to pick this guy because he would bring this to the team, or I wanted to pick that guy because what he did and the numbers that he had and the stud that he was. But there's one player in one position on this Green Bay Packers team that we have constantly talked about. Ben has talked about it. You have talked about it. I have talked about it. Everybody has talked about the lack of what on this football team?
I mean, there's a couple of things.
Lack of weapons. Lack of experience. Guys don't know what they're doing.
You're going to say it.
There's one guy that came into the NFL years ago. His career was cut short, but there's one guy that came in his rookie year. He didn't know. He wasn't out there running the wrong routes. He wasn't out there not doing what he's supposed to do. He was out there balling as a rookie and continued to ball. The Green Bay Packers need a number one star stud wide receiver, and if we were able to get the all-pro, the guy at his healthiest, and Sterling Sharp on this football team, the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love will be so much better. Jordan Love will be considered an MVP candidate if he had a receiver of the caliber of Sterling Sharp. Sterling Sharp played 7 NFL seasons. In 5 of those seasons, he had 1,000 or more yards. 1,000 or more yards. 4 of those 7 seasons, 90 or more catches. His second year in the NFL, he led the league in catches, and he was the number 2 receiver in the NFL behind Jerry Rice in yards last.
Who was throwing to him?
No, I think it was Dan Minkowski or something.
Even more so,
something like that.
Yeah, it makes it even more impressive.
He didn't have
far for maybe 2 years.
Yeah, something like that. So I mean, it was special of what he was. I didn't get to actually watch him play, but seeing the highlights and knowing the impact that he had, Sterling Sharp on this team going for 1,200, 1,300 yards, scoring 14 touchdown passes, especially in this league today. Oh, Sterling Sharp will be a stud, and the Green Bay Packers will be that much better. We ain't got to worry about Christian Watson not coming back to the football. We ain't got to worry about guys not catching the ball deep because Sterling Sharp was going to make it happen. Dude had 90, 108, 112, 94 catches in season. The Packers aren't going to have a 1,000-yard receiver this year.
That speaks to what Jordan Love's been able to do. 800-990-3776. If you could take a former Packer, any former Packer, and put him on this year's team, who would you choose? Now, I'm torn between two. Little prisoner of the moment, but I still believe there's like no wrong choice in saying Reggie White because of how dominant he is off the edge, and we couldn't touch Tommy DeVito. But the safety position is so weak that Charles would fit so well for this team.
Sure would.
I mean, like, they have I got to look up the takeaways, but I know it's bad. I can tell you they're back end of the league in takeaways.
For sure.
Charles is a ball hog. Charles is a playmaker. Charles is a guy that can do just about everything on the defense, and they need guys like that. They're too specialized right now. And for me, gosh, I want to say Reggie, but they just need somebody who's not named Rudy Ford, Jonathan Owens, or Darnell Savage. Charles Woodson is better than all three of those guys combined.
See, here's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying Charles, he's got real swag. Like, I mean, these other guys that kind of fake swag, like Jair, he got real swag.
See, on this team, though, I'll say this. I love Seawood. I had the jersey on last week. That's my boy. But on this football team, you know who they need, who fits the personality a little bit better. And Seawood, swagger, he commands your respect. Like, he's a consummate leader. I love him. But Leroy Butler will probably fit better personality-wise on this team. This is a fun, happy-go-lucky, learn-together type team, and that's what Leroy Butler will probably be on. Leroy Butler was very impressive. He had 38 interceptions in his career, 20.5 sacks, one of very few players to have 20-20. I mean, this dude was special. That's who I would probably go with at safety.
800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. Streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison. Which former Packer from any era would you put on this current version? 800-990-3776. We hear from you coming up next on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
So I'll say that, man. Mark Chmura, every time I see him in the morning, get my coffee, I walk right by here, and I look at him, I'm like, man, that's a handsome dude.
I thought you got to cull up with him too, huh?
I'd love to. I feel like I'd fit right in. You know, he's 6'6". You know, I'd be the little spoon with Chew.
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day with the family in a rugged and roomy CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days.
See your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
See dealer for financing details.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Catch Disco Fever this New Year's Eve with Ho Chunk Gaming Madison and our Disco Eve celebration. We have promotions going all day and night on Sunday, December 31st with plenty of ways to win. Like our Pick a Prize promotion with 18 cash prize winners in the afternoon, plus a $24,000 grand prize awarded at 7 p.m. And be here for our hot ticket drawings with 14 different $1,000 winners selected between 7:30 p.m. and just past midnight. Get your New Year's Eve groove on at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm Vice President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
The college football playoff semifinals. First at the Rose Bowl game.
No matter what the external circumstances are, it's not going to change what we came here to do.
Number 1 Michigan faces number 4 Alabama.
Let all naysayers know.
Then at the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Washington undefeated.
Second-ranked Washington faces number 3 Texas.
Texas is back is not a punchline.
The college football playoff semifinals. Coverage begins New Year's Day at 5 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Which former Green Bay Packer from any era would you put on this version of the Green Bay Packers? 800-990-3776. Kyle wants Sterling Sharp. I want Charles Woodson. And Brad wants Ray Nitschke. Suspect on Nitschke.
How?
Of all the choices.
How?
800-990-3776. Let's get to our KBN Nation great fans and callers. Diana from McGuanago, Kyle Wallace's #1 fan. Welcome to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Donald Driver all the way.
I ain't mad at that.
It's hard. I mean, again, there's so many good answers, but I tend to just go a little bit away from the wide receivers. You know, like I just feel like there's so many more needs.
Donald Driver's a legend.
He sure is.
You think his leadership would help this young team?
Yes, it would.
One thing about Donald Driver,
and thank you, Diana.
One thing about Donald Driver is this, and this is what my observation was. Donald Driver changed the culture at the receiver position for the Green Bay Packers. Because one thing that Donald Driver did, he always played hard. He fought for every single yard. He got excited when he got first downs, and he was known for breaking tackles. And when you look at the guys that came after him, what all did they have in common? When you think of a Greg Jennings, when you think of a James Jones, when you think of Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, they all caught the ball, and they all got yards after catch. They fought hard, and that's what Donald Driver did, and he showed them how to do that. He's a great leader.
800-990-3776. I'd rather have Tay. Prime Tay.
Donald Driver, but you need a leader on this team.
I know, but like you also need a guy who can separate and get open consistently, and that's what Tay does. Robin Madison, welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Who you got as your former Packer you would put on this version of the team?
I would go with Gilbert Brown, the grave digger.
And that's very, very fair.
Stop the run.
He is so huge. He's so huge. I lived up in Green Bay when he played, actually, and I literally ran into him in the grocery store. You know, people are drawn to him not because of his charisma, which is great. It's because of his mass. I mean, he actually commands mass like the sun does with the earth. You know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Huge.
Yeah, it's just how could Joe Barry screw up the Gravedigger?
And he actually
he couldn't. That's the thing.
Sure, maybe that is the answer. But I'm just saying, I've seen Devondre Campbell line up against Wan'Dale Robinson and Preston Smith line up against Bijan. Not the same position, but you get my point.
Gilbert had pretty
thank you, Rob. 800-990-3776. Let's go to James in St. Francis. James, if you could take a former Packer and put him on this year's team, who you got?
Guys, first of all, thanks for taking my call. I'm going to go with, last night I was on YouTube, and I saw a video of the Packers against the Patriots 2014, and I'm going to go with Eddie Lacy.
Oh.
And the reason why I go with Eddie Lacy, because he was unstoppable in that game, and the first, maybe the second year, maybe the third year, and I thought to myself, why would A.J. Dillon be more like Eddie Lacy?
James in St. Francis, the only thing that was unstoppable was the Chinese food that Eddie Lacy couldn't stop eating. Thank you for the call. Thanks. I thought I nailed that one, Chris. 800-990-3776. Well, my comedy set?
Yep. Should have used that one.
I should have. I mean, Kyle, you don't have to be so mean about it as we continue to get past it. I have nightmares of my stand-up set at Milwaukee
Did we
Improv.
get one genuine laugh? That was the over-under.
He got some chuckle. He got some chuckles.
I just
it wasn't a laugh. It was
he didn't get that.
He didn't get a laugh. So it's the under.
He got like a...
Shut up!
That's like a groan.
800-990-3776. Lot wanting Charles Woodson. Justin from the 262 wants Gilbert Brown. Couple Mark Chimura chiming in. I don't want a slow tight end. I mean, he's basically Mercedes Lewis, but worse. 800-990-3776. Let's go to Jerry in Madison. Welcome to Kyle, Brust Nortman.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Reggie White.
Yeah, I mean, look, Reggie was my second pick, and I did watch the ESPN 30 for 30 last night, and if you missed it, I'm sure they're going to re-air it. Thank you for the call, Jerry. Someone also chimes in on the text line. The only correct answer is Reggie White. Him on opposite sides of Gary. Good luck. And I tend to agree with the versatility that those two would have, but, like, he would show Rashawn Gary what the next level would be.
Yeah. I just have an interesting observation. Nobody said quarterback. Isn't that interesting? No one said Favre Rodgers.
Well,
Peak Favre Rodgers.
Because we know what Rodgers, early Rodgers maybe will be good with these guys, but the Rodgers at his peak.
Yeah, Rodgers holding the ball above his head by his shoulder.
Yeah, we just Aaron Rodgers would yell too much at these guys, and he would not be building them up enough.
And no peak Favre.
I mean, I would actually choose peak Favre over Rodgers because peak Favre is more fun than Aaron Rodgers. Peak Favre was demanding, but Aaron Rodgers was arrogant and demanding.
800-990-3776. Which former Packer of any era would you put on this Green Bay Packers team? Let's go to Hank in a car. Hank, welcome into Kyle, Brust Nortman. Who is your guy?
First off, good afternoon, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
This guy right here is the greatest athlete of the Lombardi era, and he was drafted as a halfback out of college. A Pro Bowl or Hall of Fame cornerback, and was physically good enough, fast enough to play in this game and excel. That is Herb Adderley.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've heard that name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the call, Hank. Now, what Herb was able to do back in the Lombardi days was probably very impressive. But 70 years of translation into today's
so wait
NFL.
A minute. You're gonna scrub anything before 1989?
Kinda.
That's not right.
But here's the thing: I can take.
Those were epic years.
Sure, they were epic years. I'm telling you, who's going to help the team right now, Brad?
I
know Reggie White would be the best defensive player in the NFL.
I still think some guys on those teams would translate to today's football.
And so, as Brad said, is that if we're taking
man, they were skinnier. They were not as tough.
Yeah,
come on now.
But
did you shrink after you stopped playing?
Today has weightlifting and diet.
They had steroids.
You
back
need to somehow neutralize those. And those dudes were way tougher.
They were
definitely
soft
tougher nowadays compared to the 60s.
You talking about yourself?
Yes, I am. Even the punters were tougher than I was.
Because they played other positions as well.
That's true.
And they kicked with their foot out, right?
Oh yeah, man. I had dreams last night after watching that Reggie White 30 for 30.
What was your dream last night?
Oh, just throwing guys to the ground.
Were you doing the throwing?
You were
or were you getting thrown?
Both.
You were getting thrown, right?
Both. I mean, I was like on offense, on defense. Let me try and block this. Reggie tosses me into the end zone from the 20.
So you watch a 30 for 30 about the Green Bay Packers, about what we got to watch as kids, and all of a sudden you're dreaming about Reggie White doing his move on people.
What did you take before bed?
Right.
Seriously.
Jim Rutledge chimes in, host of Rutledge and Hamilton 4 to 6 on ESPN Madison. I'm with you. If you had a side hustle when you played, like selling insurance, not a real comp to today.
I stand by it. I'm okay with it. I think those dudes. You're telling me that mentality, that will, that toughness is not translated today?
See,
I don't believe that.
It depends on position. When I look at running back, I do believe a lot of those running backs probably could. I mean, they wouldn't be they're not as fast, but you're not going to sit here and tell me a Jim Brown or Earl Campbell, especially Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell could have played in any generation of football, wouldn't have translated over. But the position on defense, you have to be so much more athletic. Like, even as a kid watching Ray Lewis at 255, 260, that's too big for an inside linebacker now. That's a defensive lineman. That's an outside linebacker. Reggie White does not have a position dang near on the Green Bay Packers where his hand's in the ground. Reggie White is probably actually standing up on the edge in the Green Bay Packers defense.
That's probably true. But when Dick
He's so
Butkus
good,
died,
you got to find a way to get him in whatever situation you want to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, you do, but I like Reggie with his hand in the ground.
800-990-3776. Also on Twitter, at KBN ESPN. Dick from Spread Eagle chimes in. Al Harris would be a dog in the secondary. Also on him as Packers D coordinator. Thoughts? Yes, we've talked about it. The Dallas defensive backs are turning guys over, something that this team is not able to do right now. Let's go to Kyle in Milwaukee. Which former Green Bay Packer would you put on this team? Not you, Kyle on the phone.
Well, I think we've lost a little bit of nastiness on this team. On the defensive side, I see the tackling where they just sort of like either olay the tackle or they just, try putting their hands on them and pushing them out of bounds. I think we need somebody like a Chuck Cecil back in here. Got a little nastiness as a defensive back, and just basically people coming across that route knowing that they're going to get taken out by someone. I think we definitely need a nasty attitude in the defense.
That's in line with my thinking, is that this defense has been soft as can be, and you need a tough, physical defensive player in there. And I think that translates to any generation, and even to Jim Rutledge. I would say this: if you're selling insurance on the offseason and you're just doing football for fun, and they were still as dominant and tough as they were, then think about how much more intense they would be with getting paid the millions.
Well, and that's the whole thing. People just weren't getting paid.
I don't know. You
like
could sell insurance and make a good lifetime value, too.
No, that's the thing, is people had to take those other jobs because football wasn't bringing in money like that. It wasn't because the guys weren't talented and it wasn't entertaining.
It just wasn't as big of a deal.
TV wasn't like that. You didn't have cable and all these different networks that were dying to pay billions of dollars for stuff. When
Dick Butkus died like a month ago or two, R.I.P., all I heard was people saying, his game would transcend generations. He could be great. Dick Butkus, the Bears.
Dick Butkus.
Ray Nitschke is a similar type of linebacker. So I think that I think it translates. Toughness, aggression, fear, that translates.
Excited to hear from Jason Wilde coming up next, because he has a lot of perspective when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, past and present. He'll be joining us on Kyle, Brust Nortman. Don't go anywhere. We're going to find out who he thinks would be the best Packer from former eras, or could be Aaron Rodgers, because he was on the team last year. We'll see what he says. Who would be the best on this year's team? Jason Wilde joins us next. Kyle, Brust Nortman, presented by the official beer of the NFL,
Brust Nortman, presented by Bud Light.
It is the 414 hour at 4.
No.
All right, Kyle, take it away.
If you're going to say it, you got to say it right. It's the 414 hour at 4.
Okay, so how am I supposed to say that?
Come on.
All right.
4. 1. 4.
It's the 414 hour at 4.
Come on, they going to have some swag
No way. I can't do that every day.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Don't accept anything less than your best self. If you're feeling more run down than you did when you were younger, struggling to lose weight, losing muscle tone, trouble sleeping, and loss of libido can all be signs that you need to see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. Jim Rutledge here. Change your life and see if hormone optimization is right for you. Don't settle for less than the best. Go to Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com or give them a call at 608-709-8089.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
At LASIK Plus, each one of our patients is unique, so we customize their journey to them.
I have a million questions about LASIK and a busy schedule.
All good. We offer free virtual consultations for just that reason.
I can't stand my contacts, but to be honest, I'm a little nervous.
We completely understand. We'll talk about treatment day, your surgeon, and what to expect.
I really need to stay within a certain budget.
We got you. LASIK Plus has financing options to get you where you need to be. From our free consultations to our patient app to our amazing staff and doctors, LASIK Plus is making your journey towards 20/20 vision all about you. Let's talk about your journey. Book your free virtual consultation at LASIK Plus today.
Right now at LASIK Plus, get 20% off LASIK in December. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes with guaranteed financing. Visit mylasicoffer.com. Must mention this promotion and be treated in December of 2023 to qualify. 20% off standard price of procedure cannot be combined with any other offers. Go to mylasicoffer.com for details.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Badger fans looking for holiday fun for the whole family? Get your tickets and join Wisconsin men's basketball at the Kohl Center in December. For more information on Badger men's basketball and to purchase tickets, visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. That's uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you.
We'll continue to hear from you, KBN Nation. What this music means, Jason Wilde of Wilde and Tausch is joining us here, on this Thursday. And it's perfect timing, because I think he's going to provide great perspective to our question. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show. Alex G. and Madison. Jason, welcome into Kyle Brust Nortman.
Great to be part of KBN Nation.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, you are.
Do you want an official title?
I'd like to be the secretary.
That's open.
I like it.
Open. We'll send it to the board of directors.
I'm curious what those duties include.
Huh.
We can get creative.
Like Secretary of State, almost. Like not secretary.
Yeah, exactly.
A distinguished position.
Oh, okay.
Cabinet, yes. Longtime secretary, Jason Wilde. Yes.
You're the Hillary Clinton of our show.
Thank you.
We were asking the audience which former Packers player from any era you would put on this current version of the Packers. Kyle said Sterling Sharp. I said Charles Woodson. And Brad said Ray Nitschke. Who would you put on this team?
Don Hudson.
Don Hudson.
Receiver.
Okay, I would like to hear this.
I never got to talk to him, so I'd like to put him on the team so I can talk to him because he passed away before I ever got to interview him. So look, I'll say this, and I think the Sterling Sharp choice is a good choice. I think if you'd have just kept Devontae Adams, that would have been an even better choice.
And then we could have picked somebody else.
Real. Correct. But look, I think their wide receiver group, no one has reached a point yet where they are proven to be special. But you see glimpses from guys that makes you think this guy could be special. Now he's got a long way to go before he is special. Like I was talking to Tausch this morning on our show. Look, there are things that Dontavion Wicks does, and I was excited to hear Buck and Aikman reference LaFleur saying this because it confirmed what I had seen because he sure knows a hell of a lot more about football than I do. But he does some Devontae Adams-ish things. And, I asked LaFleur today about Wicks, and he gushed about him. So, is he anywhere close to being Devontae Adams? No, of course not. He's nowhere near it. But you can't say that there's not a chance that he's going to continue to develop and end up being a really flippin' good wide receiver for this team. Christian Watson, we see glimpses of that. Now, he can't stay healthy, so that's certainly a concern. But, I just think they've got a lot of wide receiver talent. It's just all inexperienced and in fits and starts that we see how great they are. So if you choose a Sharp or a Don Hudson or whomever at that position, yeah, you would have a guy that's actually a great player already as opposed to a guy based on their potential. I'd also love to be covering Charles Woodson again. He's one of my favorites. We stay in touch to this day, and I learned so much football from him, and I just think he is the, bar none, coolest human I know. Like, you guys, we all have friends that are, like, cooler than us. I mean, maybe not Brust, but the rest of us have friends that are cooler than us. He is, and I don't care who you are, Charles Woodson's cooler than you.
Wow.
I
would love to meet Charles Woodson. That's a cool dude.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite players. I remember the Packers signed him, and I jumped for joy.
When we were talking about this, we actually did say he's got real swag. I mean, a lot of people have fake swag. He's got real swag. But, Jason, staying on the defensive side of the ball, a lot has been made of Joe Barry, defensive approach this week, I know on our show and many others, and we were kind of wondering what is his philosophy. Talking to Homer yesterday, he says it's bend but don't break, and we should be okay with that. How would you describe Joe Barry's defensive philosophy?
Yeah, I think I don't like to agree with Homer very often, but and that's kind of a cliche way to view it, but he's right. Like, it's don't give up big plays, make them put together 10, 12 play drives. Stiffen in the red zone and try not, in that compacted area, try to force field goals. Like, they definitely, and it's been an annoyance for many a Packers fan for years now that, they play too far off of guys and it allows guys to get open underneath them. And it happened in the game on the game-winning drive, and that was inexcusable, I thought. But overall, that's usually a pretty good approach during the course of a regular game. Keep everything in front of you, and there's a good chance that the offense is going to have a errant throw, going to miss a blocking assignment, and a run is going to get stuffed, and they're going to be in second or third and long, or they're going to get a penalty that's going to push them back, or they're going to turn the ball over. So, the line in Moneyball, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, sports movies, when your opponent is making mistakes, don't interrupt them, right? And so the idea of an offense consistently going 10, 12 plays to score on you is difficult. And so that's the philosophy behind it. And I think they've played to that philosophy. The problem is that in situations like at the end of the game on Monday night, it wasn't good enough. And frankly, they didn't play to their personality. They played prevent, and it prevented them from winning.
Why
that's how they ended up where they were.
Jason, that was the most frustrating thing, is seeing them allow big chunk yards on those first two plays. I'm like, what are we doing? They need a field goal. They don't need a touchdown. Why?
And that's a good question, Kyle. And so in our conversations, and Joe Barry's going to talk here, he's actually the one who's exactly at the time that I usually would join you guys on a Thursday today. I want to ask him kind of about the mentality and the approach there. Now, I would say this. They actually, and LaFleur said this to us yesterday, or Tuesday, I guess it was, he was okay with the first two plays. Like, I think one was 5 and one was 7 yards, but they were checkdowns, which meant that obviously Tommy DeVito did not have anything further downfield. And both those times the guy was tackled inbounds, right? So the clock kept running. They were out of timeouts. So those two plays were fine. It was the third play on which Carrington Valentine was lined up like 12 yards off the line of scrimmage, and Slayton got 9 yards. And then the next play where, Keyshawn Nixon bid on a double move, and next thing you know, Wan'Dale Robinson has a 32-yard gain, and they're now they're just, as Homer would say, fiddling and diddling to run out more clock before they kick the game-winning field goal after that. So to me, it was the third and fourth play that were problematic. The third one, because of the very unaggressive, passive approach they took, and not having a guy up at the line of scrimmage on that receiver, and then obviously getting beat by a good play from DeVito to Robinson. So those were the two most problematic plays, and you can certainly be frustrated with the body of work with Joe Barry, but again, they've played well enough to win most of the season, and I've covered plenty of seasons where that was definitely not the case for a Packers defense.
Talking with Jason Wilde here on Kyle, Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. We are presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. And so, Jason, I definitely understand the philosophy. I understand what we've seen from Joe Barry. And, maybe you can help me answer this question, because it's probably not easy to change how you game plan, specifically on how you've built the scheme of your defense. But when you're playing Tommy DeVito, I feel like I would have rather had the defense be set up for him to beat you over the top and make him throw dimes over the safeties and play a little bit more where it's like they're not running through the defense that we already know is weak on the run game. Make Tommy DeVito throw for 250-plus yards and 2 touchdowns. I feel like that would be easier for me to swallow than seeing him run through like he's Michael Vick reincarnated.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. I feel like, when there are, and Dom Capers, for whatever faults he had as a defensive coordinator, one of the things that he was great at was making life difficult for young quarterbacks. I remember writing a story years ago where I broke down, Trubisky I think Trubisky even made his first start against the Packers, if I remember correctly, his rookie year. And, he just made life miserable. If you were a young quarterback, Dom Capers was going to eat your lunch. And he did again and again and again and again and again. Now, I think the concern that Joe Barry had, and I wonder if this goes back, even though Tommy DeVito's a less accomplished quarterback by all means, but remember that Thursday night game last year where Derrick Henry comes in with the Titans, and they said, we are not going to let Derrick Henry beat us. And they were right. A.J. Dillon outgained Derrick Henry in that game by a wide margin. Problem is, they allowed Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, my gosh, that's right. 300-plus yards.
Throw for 300-some yards, right? And so I don't know if that scarred him, that he just said, look, I'm never going to do that again, where I say, we're not going to let their running back or their running game beat us, and then we get torched on the back end. So he tries to kind of, do a half measure of trying to do both. But, DeVito was 17 of 21. And we all make jokes about his outfit that his agent was wearing and him. I love the Tommy DeVito story. You guys know me. I love a good story. And the fact that he's living with his parents while he's the starting quarterback for the Giants is the kind of stuff that I love. But you're right. You can't let a third-string quarterback do to your NFL team what he basically did to the Badgers last year in Paul Chryst's last game for Illinois. You can't do that, and that's how defensive coordinators who are already kind of in a position where we're predisposed to criticize them, especially in Green Bay. You can't give folks, the critics, myself included, that kind of ammunition by not having an answer for such an inexperienced quarterback. Daniel Jones is no great quarterback by any means, right? We look at him as kind of the cautionary tale of why the Packers have to be prudent about moving forward with Love and be, don't get over your skis about how good he was for 3 games. But at least if it's Daniel Jones, it's a former first-round pick who's been in the league and played a bunch of games. Tommy DeVito is an undrafted rookie free agent third-string quarterback who is a great story but should not be having the success he's having.
Reggie White would have sacked him rushing by himself.
Oh, did you watch that last night?
I did. It was very good. I had dreams of him just throwing people around. I mean, unbelievable. As soon as they're off balance, see you later. When he threw Chris Carter into Warren Moon, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was, I got to cover him for 3 years. I'll never forget the first time I shook his hand. I felt like I was like a 5-year-old because his hand was so enormous. My hand just disappeared. And I didn't know him as well as some of my colleagues at the time. But I've always enjoyed, Jason, it's great to talk to you. He just had that deep baritone. But I would say this, and I know there's been some criticism of the 30 for 30. He was a really good-hearted guy. Okay, I didn't get a chance to talk about this on my show, on our show. So if you don't mind me taking just one quick minute, the stuff he said at the legislature and everything else, I don't think there was a hateful, mean-spirited bone in his body. I just don't think that he understood the inappropriateness of some of the things that he said or how hurtful some things were that he said. So I know there were some folks that didn't want that part included as they watched it last night. I had a few people text me that I've known for a long time, and I get that. Like we want our heroes, especially one that passed away. We want to remember all the good things, but I thought they did a really good job of kind of telling a balanced story. I think maybe there's a little bit of an overcorrection, but I thought it was extremely well done. And you're right, the level to which he was a dominant player. I'll never forget that 98 season. Like, he retired. He's done. And then he changed his mind and told Holmgren he wasn't going to retire. And then to come back with a bad back and go win Defensive Player of the Year, I mean, that was just so darn impressive. And I am really blessed to have gotten to cover him for 3 years, the good and the controversial. He was a really remarkable human being.
Jason, we appreciate the time and your insights on everything Green Bay Packers, and we will talk to you on Monday.
Yeah, thanks for adjusting for me, and it was great to talk to you guys instead of just listening to my theme music.
That's right. The board died when we talked to you last, or tried to.
Pretty amazing, yes. All right, boys, take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Hear him on Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon across these very stations. We continue to hear from you, KBN Nation, 800-990-3776. Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Is this like a KBN, or is it like individual picture per page?
No, I was hoping
this is going to change the price.
It's like a calendar. You got your own page.
Okay,
your own page. Okay,
own page is one thing. I can do that, but if I got to be nude, taking multiple pictures for an hour next to y'all swinging and wanging all over the place, I don't think I want.
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. Wisconsin linebacker Jordan Turner announced Wednesday on X that he is entering the transfer portal. Turner was a starter at linebacker each of the last 2 seasons for Wisconsin and now heads elsewhere. Turner finished the season with 61 tackles and 6.5 tackles for loss. Former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr reacts on Rutledge and Hamilton on ESPN Madison.
Jordan has been a starter here for years now. Even under the old staff, he was a starter. It hurts in that regard because it's just hard to replace production and leadership.
Unwrap your gift now, but pay later. Right now at Pella, put no money down, no payment, and no interest for up to 18 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Isn't that aroma just heavenly?
What's with the whispering?
Inside this grill is the secret to winning game days.
Eckrich smoked sausage, crafted with a perfect medley of spices for a truly rich, savory taste. So easy to prepare, too. Now, hand me one of those buns.
Oh, whoa. Keep your voice down.
Marty, you're still whispering? Secret's out, buddy. Eckrich.com has dozens of simple, mouth-watering recipes for everyone to win game days this season.
Pro Paydays are back for MVP's Pro Rewards members at Lowe's. Now through December 15th, you can earn 10% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Plus, save $10 on a new and exclusive 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Drywall PVA Primer and Sealer. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Offers valid 12/4 through 12/15. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop at Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie, Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Shop Fleet Farm for hot Fleet Fest deals this Friday through Sunday, in-store only. Like an extra 15% off all kitchen appliances and cookware. And hunters save an extra 10% on all tree stands, trail cams, blinds, and hunting apparel. Plus, you can still save $10 instantly on any purchase of $75 or more with our seasonal savings coupon. Shop in-store for these Fleet Fest deals and more this weekend only at Fleet Farm, home of everything you need for a very merry shopping season.
Badger fans looking for holiday fun for the whole family? Get your tickets and join Wisconsin men's basketball at the Kohl Center in December. For more information on Badger men's basketball and to purchase tickets, visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. That's uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
We tend not to think about right now. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you. Donate at V.org, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
You tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Tell me to stop, but I keep on going.
We've been asking you for the majority of the show. After watching Reggie White's 30 for 30, I was like, man, he'd be good in any era. Not good, great. If not the best defensive player in the league. So dominant, so quick, so freaking strong. It was so fun to watch. That led to what former Packer would you put on this iteration of the Green Bay Packers if you could? I went with Charles Woodson, Kyle Wallace, Sterling Sharp, and Brad Nortman with Ray Nitschke. 800-990-3776. It seems as if, whether it be Wayne Simmons and, there was I just saw the tweet with his nose bleeding. I'm blanking. Chuck Cecil. It seems as if the Packers could use a tough, hard-hitting linebacker with a little crazy in him. And that's kind of like what the theme is, Brad. You picked a defensive lineman because you think you need somebody to stop the damn run. No matter what.
Yeah. No, I mean,
there's not enough mean on this team.
There's not enough mean. There's not. And you need a guy that can go in there and put fear into the offense. I mean, I've sat in some offensive meetings when you're facing a guy that is just like insane, crazy, and physical, you can't really defend against that. You can only try to slow him down.
That's the one thing that, again, did not play on a high level other than high school, but the one thing that offensive players, yes, they're very athletic, very talented, but you can always scheme, as Jason Woolley just talked about. We're not going to let Derrick Henry do anything, but you end up getting thrown on because you can find a way to slow down offensive guys. When it comes to dudes who can wreck games like that, it's just so hard to stop because they have momentum going forward and they're just that good of athletes. It's so hard to stop a guy like Aaron Donald. It was so hard to stop a guy like Clay Matthews for the Green Bay Packers. And it was so hard to stop a guy like Reggie White. And I'm assuming it was hard to stop a guy like Ray Nitschke.
Dave from the 414 chimes in and says, is it out of line to say Lombardi?
Hey, I mean, that's pretty good.
What the hell's going on out there?
That's pretty good.
I don't think Lombardi stands a chance in coaching in this time.
Why's that?
These kids are too soft. They're entirely too soft. He would get fired.
Brad, you're the first one saying that that is soft. You're soft.
Yeah, I think that begs the question, though. They need to be toughened up.
Dick Van Dyke chimes in. Yes, the real Dick Van Dyke, 262, or I guess I don't know if you give his number. Bush League with KBN's picks. Gilbert Brown, which is an early submission right away.
Brown.
And Reggie was my number 2. I did Charles Woodson, but Reggie was my number 2, as he said this would turn around the defense in seconds. Well, you don't get 2. You only get 1 in this Dick Van Dyke.
Here's the one thing about Gilbert Brown. There was nothing special about Gilbert Brown. He was a big, fat, good football player that could eat up space. There's big, fat dudes that can eat up space in the NFL now are coming out in the draft. Like you can find a Gilbert Brown.
Yeah, Reggie can play.
Gilbert's good, but he's not like a Hall of Famer.
But that leads me to believe, is this a personnel issue? Why haven't we found everybody who watches football in Wisconsin sees that they need something to help stop the run? Why aren't we getting somebody to help stop the run? Get a fat boy. I want somebody that's big.
Run and general toughness. I still can't remember last time I looked at the Packers defense and this is a tough group of people.
800-990-3776. Quickly, Rudy in St. Francis. I know you got a story, but please make it quick.
It's real quick. I saw Reggie get off a bus going to play New England Patriots. I was there as a fan. My kids were there as a fan. My little guy was crying. Reggie picked him up and said, "Never mind the football, Dad. Take care of the little guy." Biggest heart in the world.
Yeah, I think
That's
that
cool.
I think that echoes. Thank you, Rudy. What Jason Wilde was saying, like he was just a good-hearted guy, and I think for the most part, I mean, it's really easy to see that in the 30 for 30. If you missed it, go ahead, Kyle.
And it just makes me think about how immature am I? Like Reggie White did that probably at the age of like 33, 30. Listen, there's no way in the world I'm getting off the bus and picking up somebody's kid.
A puppy dog came in the office and Kyle left today.
Yeah, we're going to keep peels out of that
I touched it. I said, "Oh, how cute." I rubbed the dog, but he gave me an opportunity to leave, and I did.
Yeah, and dogs can sense, like, weirdos, and it ran away from Kyle and ran right to me.
No
the pup.
I mean, it's still
me.
a puppy. He doesn't quite be able to tell.
Thank you,
not
Brad.
crazy.
Brad, just roll with it one time, damn it.
I wasn't going to call him out for his malarkey that he was saying, but you know what? Thank you, Brad, for having my back. The lies that spewed from his mouth.
I'm gonna start calling Brad Kyle's number 3 supporter. I mean, jeepers, Christmas.
Because he's honest?
No, because
I'd like to think I equally support.
Hell no.
And, wait a minute.
I agree.
Hell with that.
Ben, you feel slighted?
I'm okay with it.
No, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't do some questionable things.
I don't want
if you did less
either of you on
questionable
my
things,
side.
he would support you.
Kyle doesn't want to hang out with me. You're Kyle's puppet over here.
No, I've been on your side plenty, Ben.
But it's time for over under where we all.
Softy.
I'm soft
Charmin.
and sensitive, guys.
That's true.
My nickname was Charmin going through the middle school days in basketball. But we team up together now in over under. So while we get the callers for over under, 800-990-3776. Let's go caller 6, caller 9. 800-990-3776. You have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Caller 6, you get a category from Chris. You're allowed to say over or under. Caller 9's on the other side. Kyle, Brad, and I, we team up to get as many correct answers as possible. Brad, tell us about Gina Dell from Pella.
I would love to. Guys, Christmas is only 11 days away. But you can still give yourself a Christmas gift from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin because they have a very special gift for you that you can unwrap it right now, and you don't have to pay for it for another year and a half. That's right. Replace your leaky windows, your drafty doors with Pella, and you can put no money down, make no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Pella's elves, they are busy, they are hardworking, and they install year-round, and they can do it in as little as a day. So hurry, though. This deal ends December 31st. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Caller 6, caller 9, 800-990-3776. Over under to win a $50 gift card coming up next in 2 minutes. Do not go anywhere.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Alex Grove. The third annual 608 basketball tournament is here this weekend for Madison College. Catch all 4 tournament games and the 2 showcase games beginning at 6 o'clock on Friday and 1 o'clock on Saturday. It's the third annual 608 basketball tournament for Madison College.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is also brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, Pasquale's Cantina, UW Credit Union, Stoughton Trailers, the GRB Academy, and Stoughton Health.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What's happening, Madison? I'm Alex Cravat. This is your Sports Center brought to you by Green Bay Game Night. Join Homer, Mark Tauscher, Jason Wilde, Gabe Neitzel, and other fans for instant post-game reaction following every Green Bay football game this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The Badgers volleyball team is back in action tonight as they look for vengeance from the 2020 and 2021 semifinals. Wisconsin takes on 5th-ranked Texas Longhorns, who swept the Badgers back in 2021 in the Final Four. They are back matched up again in the Final Four in Tampa, Florida. That game is at 8:30, and you can watch it on ESPN, but we're going to keep it right here in Madison for the next one. Wisconsin men's basketball takes the court as they host Jacksonville State tonight at 6 p.m. The Badgers are looking to right the ship after dropping a game to the number 1 team in the country, Arizona, back on December 9th. An ESPN matchup predictor believes that they will, in fact, right the ship. The Badgers have a 95.4% chance of winning out. And did you hear about Giannis and the Bucks going after the Pistons game ball last night after the win? We'll have more on that with KBN, which continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison, this is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. I'll be telling you how you can win a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Sounds pretty good. We just teased it because we couldn't get to it. Had fun talking with all you about what former Packer would you put on this Green Bay Packer team today if you could. A lot of Reggie Whites, Gilbert Browns. We have Charles Woodson. We have Sterling Sharp, Ray Nitschke, and the list continues. Donald Driver. I did see a tweet about Rodgers and Favre. So there were some people chiming in finally on the quarterback position because that one is interesting to just, I guess, again, do those quarterbacks fit the need for the team and how would they work with the young guys is part of the reason why they're probably not. But it's time to play a little over-under.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over Under on Kyle Brust Nortman.
Chris Larson's a tough cookie. He comes up with a list and a category. He gives the category to caller 6, which was Bob in Brookfield, who chose the over. He believes in us. We got to deliver for Bobby. Nick in Milwaukee stuck on the other side. It's an under for him. Now, we get 10 guesses, and we team up to get as many right as possible in the category. Chris, what is the category and the over-under?
All right, so in honor of Giannis scoring 64 points in last night's game, a new career and franchise record, he moved himself into the top 100 list of the NBA's all-time leading scorers. But I want to know who are the current top 10 NBA all-time leading scorers that are actually playing today. And
playing today?
Yes, and the over-under is set at 6.5. The active NBA players' top 10 scoring list of players that are playing today. Over-under set at 6.5.
6.5. All right. You guys ready to go? Remember, we can brainstorm, and then we can give our final answers.
Yeah.
Kyle,
okay.
You're not locked in.
Kyle looked like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah, I wrote down numbers. I'm sitting here trying to brainstorm.
Chris, we're ready.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
LeBron James, final answer.
LeBron James, number 1 on the list with 39,234 career points.
KD.
Kevin Durant, final.
Kevin Durant, number 2 on the list with 27,508 total points scored.
I was thinking Harden.
That's good.
Harden, final.
You got the top 3 so far. James Harden, number 3 on the list with 24,908 total points.
How about Steph?
Ooh, that's a good one. Steph Curry, final.
Steph Curry, number 5 on the list with 22,324 total points scored.
Those are the 4 I had.
Oh, great.
Kevin Love, is he potentially on that list, you think, for scoring? I don't know.
He put up those massive Minnesota numbers. He is still playing.
I'm trying to think.
I don't hate that.
But Russell Westbrook should be on that list.
Russell Westbrook, final.
That's another good one.
Russell Westbrook, number 4 on the list with 24,719 total points. So you have the top 5 so far.
We're smart. This one always gets tougher.
Long career. Who's been playing for a long
Think
time?
of bench players.
And that's what I'm trying to focus. Derrick Rose, I feel like he shouldn't.
I mean, Kawhi could be potential.
Kawhi could be on. Paul George, he's got to be on that list. PG's got to be on that list. PG has been doing it for a long time.
I mean, Kawhi goes back to the Spurs where he won the
like 04.
PG, no, he wasn't.
They're not that. Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, but PG's my age. And so PG is the same age as Russ.
PG-13 final. Kawhi final. Damn.
Is
See, D Rose just been hurt so much. Rudy Gay. Is Rudy? Oh, you don't think he's on that?
I don't know. Is he active?
I think Rudy Gay's still active.
I think Udonis has him retired too.
Well, see, he retired as well, but he didn't score a lot of
He
points.
didn't score enough to even make the list, even as long as he played.
Oh, okay.
Okay, superstars.
Yeah, think like all-stars.
Is Kyrie on
1
the list?
minute.
The old guys that get in
Klay Thompson. I don't know if he's scored enough.
Klay Thompson might be.
Andre Iguodala retired. Who's in?
Anyone Memphis? Anyone? Dallas? Anyone? Houston? No.
Nobody on Boston. Nobody on Miami.
No one in the Central.
Nobody
at all, really.
in Toronto.
What about like Jimmy Butler? He's been around for a while.
Nah.
I don't think if Kawhi's not on the list, Jimmy shouldn't be on the list.
30 seconds.
I mean, we could try K-Love.
Kevin Love final.
I don't know.
We got to get the next two.
That's tough.
I mean, Klay has got to be on there.
We're running out of time, so I'm fine with it. Klay Thompson final. Gosh darn it! Sorry, Bob. We suck.
Did we go through 10 already?
Yeah. Well, we have lost enough.
LeBron, James,
it's
10.
You
9.
can turn it off, Chris. Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah, it's horrible.
We started so strong.
The countdown.
So strong.
All right, so let's go over to the list here. So you guys got the top 5. You got strong out of the game with the first 5.
Did we
on the
say
list.
any of the names that are on there?
You, Kyle mentioned one name on the list that you guys didn't have.
All right, keep going.
All right, so number 1 was LeBron James.
Kyrie's on the list?
No. Number one, somebody else you mentioned. Number 1 was LeBron
Derrick
James.
Rose,
2 was Kevin Durant. 3 was James Harden. 4 was Russell Westbrook. 5, Steph Curry, which you had also. Number 6, DeMar DeRozan.
I didn't think DeMar was
Number 7, Chris Paul.
Oh, my God.
How did we
CP3.
forget? How did we forget that?
Because he's on the bench for the Warriors.
Number 8, it's Dame time. Damian Lillard. Number 8 on the list. Number 9 was
cancel us.
Number 9 was the one that Kyle mentioned, Rudy Gay.
Okay.
That surprises me.
And number 10, the guy who had 64 points last night, Giannis, number 10 on the list, who just moved ahead of Paul George last night with his 64-point performance.
The 64 points.
Boo us.
Well, wait a minute. So we had to find. So we basically had to get 6 of 9.
6 of 10.
6.5 was the over/under.
No,
so we had to get 7.
We had to get 7.
We could only miss 2 guys.
3.
6.5.
No,
so
Giannis
3.
was already on the list. He told us that.
No, I said Giannis was in the top 100 of all-time leading scorers. But I wanted
and
to
then
top 10
active.
Just because he was top 100 doesn't mean he was 10.
I would have said Giannis. I thought Giannis was on the top 10 list.
So you say Giannis and Rudy Gay. Kyle lost it for us. Sorry, Bob. It was Kyle's fault.
Dang. I wouldn't have gotten DeMar DeRozan.
No, I wouldn't have gotten DeMar.
Yeah, we suck.
What was the other? It was DeMar.
Chris Paul.
Yeah, DeMar,
Chris Paul, Dame,
Lillard, Rudy Gay, and Giannis.
Dame. Dang it. Dame's been playing. Dame's my age as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's been doing it for a long time.
Dame's been in the league a long time, guys. Yeah,
and
we
scoring
know.
a lot.
Because he wanted to get out of Portland to have a chance to win a championship. We're stupid.
Yeah, no. That's yeah.
That was a sneaky tough one.
No, it wasn't. We just sucked.
No, Chris Paul. We sucked on Chris Paul.
That's what I'm saying.
But DeMar DeRozan, no, he's underrated, and you're not going to remember DeMar.
That's fine, but we still had enough to win.
To know Kawhi Leonard is not on the list, but DeMar is. Nobody would have guessed that.
That's crazy.
But CP3, Dame, and Giannis were missed by us.
Well, CP3, Dame is a definite.
And then you
miss.
said Rudy Gay.
I don't know.
So it's on us.
Giannis is not an obvious.
Why are you guys making excuses? We are good enough to make that list, and we're like, we couldn't have got it. We could have got it. We weren't good enough.
I did say Rudy Gay, and you guys didn't second that. So
that one seems about the hardest one on the list.
Yeah, but he's been around for so long. Rudy Gay was so good at the start of his career, but he's just been around for like the last 8 seasons, just scoring 10 points a game.
I'm done with this conversation. We lost. Congratulations, to Nick in Milwaukee.
On the previous edition of the show, I don't know, whatever.
We were unbelievable.
You were good?
Really?
We were unbelievable.
Well,
with 2 heads?
It wasn't you. It wasn't
yes.
you. It wasn't you.
Were the lines?
It could have had
Shut your ass.
Scalzo's just bang, bang, bang.
Carrying the team.
Were the topics at all
easier? This really feels like the conversation we had earlier where Brad is really on my side for anything.
I'm just curious. I don't know any different.
You were unbelievable, but somehow all of a sudden you suck here now.
I have a theory.
What's the theory?
I'll tell you in the break. 800-990-3776. The Packers play the Buccaneers. So we have a question that we want to ask you. What is your favorite rivalry outside of the Bears-Vikings? And believe it or not, the Bucs, it was kind of fun back in the day. What's your favorite Green Bay Packers rivalry outside Bears-Vikings? 800-990-3776. Continuing on, Kyle, Brust Nortman next.
This is Kyle, Brust Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light.
I took a Civil War class in high school.
So what does Civil War have to do with Rosa Parks? Were there buses around in the 1860s, Ben?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Do more together this holiday in a new Chevy. Take on more adventure in the strong and capable Chevy Silverado. More confidence in the Chevy Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs 2 years running. And more value in the all-new Chevy Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Bring the holidays together in a new Chevy. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Hey everyone, Molly Brown here from ESPN Madison. For the best Southwestern food and margaritas in the Madison area, it's always Pasquale's Cantina for me. Whether I'm enjoying my favorite taco salad, their awesome chips and guac, or one of their famous burritos, Pasquale's is the best for authentic Southwestern fare. Plus, they have one of the largest tequila selections around. Visit one of their locations in Verona or Middleton today, or check out their menu and order online at Pasquale'sCantina.com.
Bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We can help you from the safety and comfort of your own home. Our virtual sign-up process is quick and easy. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Smoking hot deals just keep coming with quick hot savings from Quick Trip. And right now we're cooling off with $2.99 a gallon Nature's Touch milk. All 1 gallon, 2%, 1%, and skim Nature's Touch milk, just $2.99. Hey, looking to make that perfect movie night milkshake? Or how about making those morning waffles extra fluffy? Our fresh, straight from our dairy Nature's Touch milk is on sale and ready for your fridge. Quick hot savings from Quick Trip. Yeah, we're here to save you some moolah.
One of the best high school basketball tournaments in the state is back December 15th and 16th at Madison College. The 608 basketball tournament features some of the best teams from around the state and star players coming to Wisconsin next year. And you can be there to experience the greatness. Friday's semifinals start at 6:30. Saturday's slate of 4 games, including the championship and some great showcases, start at 1:30. Check out the full list of teams and D1 recruits participating and purchase discounted tickets early at MadisonCollegeRecreation.com. The 608 basketball tournament, December 15th and 16th at Madison College.
There's nothing like a great night's sleep. If your mattress isn't quite right, chances are you're not sleeping as well as you should be. Steinhoffel's exclusive Discover Your Sleep system maps your body and sleeping position, and then finds the perfect mattress for you through science. So, stop in and find your perfect mattress with the Discover Your Sleep system, only at Steinhoffel's. Relax. It's Steinhoffel's.
Braylon Allen here for Iron Jock Performance Gear and Apparel. You know why Iron Jock says it's what's inside? It's the technology, the 4-way stretch, fit, and feel, the science that is built into the fabric. This isn't any ordinary clothing that you wear 5 times and the fabric breaks down. Iron Jock is tested and proven to kill 99.9% of the bacteria for the lifetime of the gear. It'll feel as new after 75 washes as it did the day you got it. Get yours at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
This is Kyle, Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle, Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. We suck it over under. So, Josh DiMaggio, former producer of Scalzo and Brust, now of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Josh, if you mind popping on over here, Kyle had a question because he attacked me, and we are losing a lot to Chris Larson in over-under. And he's like, was that always the case? And you can admit, like, Greg and I won a lot, and there's some accusations that I had nothing to do with it. How would you assess this?
I'd say Kyle is 1,000% definitively correct. I will also say that Chris is a tougher cookie than me.
See, that's what I was trying to say. But come on, give me of all the over-under wins, Greg was probably 70%, me 30.
Jeez. If we were to do a pie chart of success or proper blame, you get 10.
Come
10%,
on.
10%.
Come on.
Well, so this is the guy we got, right? This is why we suck.
Yeah, but even if I'm 10, you guys are 2 brains.
Yeah, I was just saying, you guys got an extra brain in here.
You guys got to match Scalzo.
Yeah. I don't know.
We're rookies.
I don't know what that says about you two.
Yeah, agree.
What it says about us? I mean, in my defense, this is back-to-back weeks where I had the names on the list.
Yeah,
It's just I didn't say them because I wasn't encouraged by my teammates.
We need conviction, though. We need conviction in your answers.
Josh, he's doing the tap dance.
No,
he's doing the icon. I don't know.
Wes Matthews.
I've listened to you guys do this a few times now. You guys need a new point guard. You need somebody else running it.
We need to bench him. Reduce him from his role.
You couldn't remember CP3.
I mean, we couldn't.
There we go.
Yeah, I think Brad or Kyle should run it, and I think you guys will have more success.
All right, thanks, Josh DiMaggio. Never mind. Go away. 800-990-3776.
We came with a problem. He came with a solution. I applaud him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Constructive. Very constructive.
I don't think it's a good solution, personally.
I hope you enjoyed being CP3 for the last time for Over-Under on KBN.
Your favorite Packers rivalry outside of the Bears-Vikings. Some early submissions, 800-990-3776. Packers and Raiders. It's got to be the Cowboys. Yeah, I got to get Dave from Aaron in here. I'll work on that in the break, Dave. Sorry that I called you Dave from the 414. Dave from Aaron chimed in earlier. I'll get that right. But I also saw on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, 49ers or Cowboys. And I'll turn it to you guys because you guys were pretty hot on the Buccaneers in the amount of times that the Packers played.
Yeah, I'm curious to know who Brad has.
Yeah, I actually have the Buccaneers. I have just fond memories of growing up in the NFC Central, which is the current NFC North 4 teams, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a team that were it was so easy to dislike, right? I mean, you had the Warren Sapp and the Brett Favre yapping back at one another, and you got like Derek Thomas, Keyshawn Johnson. We were going through some of those battles. I remember that Packer team going down to Tampa and hearing the cannons go off and hearing them look slow seeing them look slow in the heat. I just felt like there was something special about that rivalry, right? That 90s rivalry. And guys, I looked it up. I didn't realize that NFC Central was a division from 1977 to 2001. That's almost 25 years. 25 years that this division was intact, and the Packers had a nice rivalry with the Buccaneers. So call it nostalgia, but I think that those Buccaneers and those Packer teams in the 90s, particularly the mid to late 90s, when I really remember, that's a rivalry I miss. And honestly, it's been rekindled with the NFC Championship game with the Buccaneers and the Packers when Tom Brady beat them. So I don't know. I like when I see the Packers face off against Tampa. It feels like there is an old rivalry that used to be there. And so whenever I see them play against one another, it just feels right. It feels like my childhood.
Yeah, I love that. It really was something special in our childhood. We all like Mike Allstott. Just running through things. So that is a great one. Anybody who was a Packers fan, especially during their youth, if you were born between like 1980 and 1993, probably 92, that Packers versus Buccaneers rivalry was so good. And then the thing that is so great about it as a kid, you see things like Pirates and you see things like the boat. Those are all things that are very attractive to a kid. You're like, oh, that looks so cool. So
seeing the palm trees in that stadium, that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, even you saying the heat, I just remember looking back to Pam Oliver on the sideline talking about it's hot down here. Now the Packers have to adjust to that. Chad Clifton and Warren Sapp getting into it. They didn't get into it because he blindsided Chad Clifton. But, Mike Sherman getting it. Like, that is nostalgia. That's why I love that Buccaneers one. But the one I'm going to go with is a rivalry that has been going on for so long with the Green Bay Packers, and it was one that you kind of alluded to as well. The San Francisco 49ers. And because this is so big because of the thing is that the 49ers were on top of the world, Super Bowl champions, right? And you had the Dallas Cowboys in there. And the next team that followed that had that kind of mini dynasty was the Green Bay Packers, who were next in line. But here's the thing about that one is in 1998, 1999 season, anybody who was a kid at that time remembers the fumble that Jerry Rice had, and we recovered, but they didn't have instant replay at the time. So the 49ers got the ball. T.O. makes the catch. Our playoff dreams are over. The run is over. They ended our dynasty that we had. As a kid, I still remember that, and I remember writing papers about why they need instant replay. So you have that. But then let me fast
writing
forward.
papers.
No, for real. Then you fast forward to 2005, and what happened? The NFL draft, you got the Cali kid and Aaron Rodgers, who gets passed up because Alex Smith gets drafted to go to the 49ers, and Aaron Rodgers ends up with the Packers, and then he has a chance to play them, his hometown team, with the Green Bay Packers.
He really didn't fare well over his career against the Niners.
But it's still, he had a chance to play against them. And then on that, so again, the rivalry there, 49ers, Green Bay Packers. And then you go to the playoffs, and listen, I feel like we had more heartbreak against the 49ers than actually victories. I hate Garrison Hurst still to this day, and Terrell Owens, I can cry all he wants. But then Colin Kaepernick running up and down that field against the Green Bay Packers. It seems like the 49ers running game against the Packers defense is also a rivalry as well, because they seem to have their way with our run defense all the time. So I would say the Packers and the 49ers is probably the most historic one, the one that has the most juice to it, other than the other than the Bears and the Vikings.
I like that choice, and I absolutely agree with you. I associate it with heartbreak. I can't even think. I think of that one regular season game where the Packers, they went 20 seconds and got a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was,
You're talking about in 2020?
Yeah.
That's 21, actually.
That's the only...
That came across my TikTok. It was fun to watch.
That's the only 49ers game I can think of.
Because the year before, Raheem Mostert ran for 8,000 yards in the NFC Championship game.
Most Packers 49ers games since that 1998-99 game, Kyle, that it's just heartbreak. It's heartbreak after heartbreak. It's a great rivalry, but boy, it's painful.
In the playoffs, they have definitely broke our hearts. Goodness gracious. Our defense stepped up, and somehow we still found a way to lose to the 49ers the last time we played them in the playoffs. Just hurts.
800-990-3776. Austin, the 414, chimes in. He says they call it the Bay of Pigs, the Bucks versus the Packers.
They call it that?
I can see that, I guess. I feel like that may ring a bell. I don't know.
I would like to say that my favorite rivalry outside of the Vikings and the Vikings and Bears, because the Lions aren't a rivalry, sorry. Even in the short span that they knocked us out of the playoffs and have looked decent, above average this season.
Yeah, above average.
And shout out to Brian D. Goody versus Rodgers. Goody versus Rodgers.
That's a good one.
Come on.
A civil war.
It was amazing. Yeah, civil internal war. There was Favre Thompson a little bit, but Goody Rodgers, you're telling me that wasn't the most drama-filled rivalry that you've ever witnessed and watched? It got a little annoying at times, but it kind of got sucked into it. It's like a bad soap opera. It was like who's gonna say what next? It was a PR battle. And who's going to say what to get the edge? Oh, I couldn't get FaceTime. Oh, I didn't show up. Oh, Goody treats the players wrong on the way out. Oh, this, all that. And it just was nonstop, and I loved every second of it.
The final battle of that rivalry would be if the Rodgers and the Jets ever play the Packers. Now, that would be fun. That'd be like a video game that's like boss-level type stuff. That would be like the final battle of that rivalry.
It still is possible.
It is.
I would love
if the Jets finish in third in the AFC East and the Packers finish in third in the NFC North, I believe the Jets would come here to Lambeau Field.
That's correct.
Kyle can't handle that emotion already.
It would be something else, but you're right. That was a good rivalry that I absolutely hated. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like getting to the point. It was a story that was a tragedy. That is exactly what that was. It is a tragedy. It's an absolute tragedy that what occurred between those two in the rivalry and what it put me through as a Packers fan. Yes, I made it about me because I'm the one who suffers.
You're very emotional. We understand.
They made me suffer.
I like to think that it was not
What?
Bobo and the Buddy Ranch.
Oh, we love Bobo.
Yeah.
What Bobo got to say today, Bobo? What freaky thing he got to say?
Too freaky to read. Let me just say that.
Wow.
800-990-3776. Got to tell you about the Princeton Club. A little shook by that one. Right now is a great time to join the Princeton Club because it's the best rates of the year. And you want to beat the New Year's resolution crew to the clubs. When you think about being open 24/7, having free childcare with the membership, I do personal training, and they have different cardio classes, weights classes, they got basketball courts. They have something for everyone for you to enjoy. And when you're working out, they're always updating the facilities and the equipment, and that's the best part about working there. You never have to feel like, hey, what else is out there? You just don't, because they're always making it better for you in the locker rooms, in the workout facility area. So join the Princeton Club. Find your better tomorrow with the best rates of the year. The lowest rates. You got to get them right now at the Princeton Club. Coming up next is one of our favorite segments, and that's the Take Machine. Ooh, baby. Who's bringing the heat? Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You experience it, you can't go back.
I got a sensitive tummy. And
so do I.
And so if I eat sushi and then I find myself sitting 10 hours later on the toilet, sitting there with my hands on my head, complaining about why did I do this, I'm going to come for y'all.
I guarantee you're eating other things in life that are upsetting your stomach more than what sushi will.
Yeah, I eat cheese all the time.
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day with the family in a rugged and roomy CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days.
See your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
See dealer for financing details.
Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. Better prices, better warranties. Legacy always makes it easy. Go to legacy-exteriors.com. Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone. Let us leave a legacy on your home.
Tito's handmade vodka is so good and smooth, you can mix it with anything. Now, hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like a Tito's Bloody Mary stacked with garnishes is more like Tito's. Sounds pretty good. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Hey, it's Bobby Portis, and I love playing basketball in Milwaukee. When I drive down the lane, I move fast and make sudden moves to drive to the hoop and score. But when I'm behind the wheel in the driving lane, I control my drive. I don't speed or make sudden movements. Speeding and reckless driving are the leading causes of traffic injuries and deaths in Wisconsin. Do what I do. Control your drive. Don't speed. Don't be reckless. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Wisconsin DOT.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Catch Disco Fever this New Year's Eve with Ho Chunk Gaming Madison and our Disco Eve celebration. We have promotions going all day and night on Sunday, December 31st with plenty of ways to win. Like our Pick a Prize promotion with 18 cash prize winners in the afternoon, plus a $24,000 grand prize awarded at 7 p.m. And be here for our hot ticket drawings with 14 different $1,000 winners selected between 7:30 p.m. and just past midnight. Get your New Year's Eve groove on at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
We hear from voices all across our office, from you. Telling you, if I don't got a text line set up next week, I'm going nuclear. I'm gonna want the veins popping.
So when you say text line,
excuse me, voicemail line, so people can leave takes for Chris.
I'll email Jody right now. How about that? I'll email.
That's
Jody.
all I'm looking for.
Set up a
problem solving.
Set up a line. Make sure we pay $50 a month so Ben can have his text line, his talk line.
I'm sure there's a way we can set it up.
No, it's fine. I'll make sure that you. I'll tell Craig on Sunday.
I'll tell you what, ESPN Cleveland's got a voicemail line. They're part of our company.
All right,
I'm just saying.
All fair. I'm telling you, I'm going to email Jody right now. I got you.
We could just send somebody out in the streets, too, to get some opinions
Yeah,
as well.
why don't you take you behind in the streets and go get a...
yeah, a little man, walk around with a microphone.
Man on the streets.
Yeah, I would love to, but I got other responsibilities to do during the day. Brad?
Well, I mean, why are you looking at me?
You got the most free time of all of us.
That's true.
No, we got plenty of people around here
That's
to do
true.
social stuff. They can just go out in the street and ask some questions.
I don't disagree with that either, Chris. Well, all I'm asking is let's get some takes outside the office. Let's hit the take machine.
We've all got them. Sometimes they leave you with a good feeling.
You're incredible.
But most of the time they end up leaving you unsatisfied.
Do you have anything bigger?
This is the Take Machine on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
So for the record, you're going to hear the Willy Wonka, like... I watched that movie the other day.
The new one?
The old
first
one.
The
original?
OG.
With
Not
Gene
the
Wilder?
OG, with Gene Wilder. It is trippy.
It's good.
It's
Yeah, I
it's
always thought the
trippy.
Willy Wonka movies were freaky.
They are freaky, but freaky good.
It's
I don't
trippy.
know.
Yeah, with the stuff moving around, that's what it's all about, baby.
Is that what it's all about for kids?
Yeah.
Oompa loompa doopity-doo.
If you weren't afraid of the Oompa Loompas as a child, something was wrong with you. You are a sick child if you weren't afraid of
Those are my favorite part.
You were afraid of you weren't afraid of little orange green-headed.
I mean, Voldemort's my
folks.
favorite movie character of all time.
Of course it is.
I wouldn't get the joke.
Of all time.
It's not a joke.
I wouldn't get the. I don't get it. I don't get the reference. I know it's from Harry Potter.
He's the bad guy in Harry Potter. I mean, he's unbelievable.
But the
He
Oompa
split
Loompas
his
aren't bad,
he
they're just
split his
scary.
soul into 7 parts. It's unbelievable.
It's a movie.
I know.
Oompa Loompas are
Spoiler
real.
alert. Let's go to the first take on the Take Machine.
Everybody within the Pacers organization should be fined for stealing Giannis's game ball.
No, they don't need to be fined. You know what they need to do? If they so tough, they want to be about it. How about they step outside on Milwaukee and walk a couple blocks up there up MLK and see if they want to run their mouth and do crazy things there. I guarantee you Tyrese Halliburton said, fellas, let's chill, because if the mean streets of Milwaukee get word of what happened tonight, we may all be getting our butts whooped. So I would love to see them try to talk the talk and walk the walk in the mean streets of Milwaukee and see what happens.
Giannis Antetokounmpo goes for 64, a Bucks franchise record. A Bucks security guard grabs a ball, but somehow the ball gets to the Pacers, and then Giannis is running up and down the tunnel, and then he's talking to a Pacers assistant, and all hell breaks loose.
Miles Turner's wouldn't be talking crazy like that if he was at McGovern Park or Lincoln Park. I can guarantee you that. Yeah, soft kids.
You went to Whitefish Bay.
I went to Whitefish Bay. I didn't say me, but I said McGovern. And let's get something straight now. If me and my boys gotta go, we gotta go. You know what I'm saying? We ride or die. If I was there with Giannis, I'd be right there. I wouldn't be Bobby Portis or his brother, but I'd be right there, kind of looking behind like campaign. I would have walked with the group now.
Bobby Portis looks like a serial killer, and I love it.
Yeah, I love
would
it
not
too.
mess with Bobby Portis.
But
Last guy I'd mess with.
They shouldn't be fine. They think they tough. They should really go to McGovern Park and go
Just
to Lincoln
get
Park and
spanked.
see what happens. They wouldn't
slap on the wrist.
They wouldn't get spanked. Honestly, I know we're gonna talk about it. I was so upset at that. Forget a fine.
It was
fighting. Them was fighting words. Them was fighting words.
Fighting actions.
Fighting actions. Yeah, fighting actions.
I said, for me, it was bleep around and find out. When you flagrant fouled Giannis, and then you expected him to step off the gas pedal, it's on you guys, you dumbasses. Am I allowed to say that? Crap. I don't know. Let's go to the next take.
You saw some upside-down Christmas trees in Cleveland recently.
I did. I think upside-down Christmas trees are totally fine, and it made sense. It was at a restaurant, and I would rather the tree be on the ceiling because it gave more space for either more tables or, in this case, an awesome singer who is singing there playing the guitar. So why put a tree there when you can put a tree on the ceiling? You can't put the singer on the ceiling.
Will you be doing this in your home in 2024?
No.
Why not?
Well, I'm not interested in holes on the ceiling, but if I lived in a rafty type space,
sure.
With, rafters, sure.
Okay.
You're the Christmas tree.
Brad, you drove 80 hours to buy a $50 tree that was
That's
only
true.
worth $1.
And guess what? I'm not putting it on the ceiling. That is a bizarre take. I don't think I've ever seen it before. I'm trying to envisioning an upside down
tree
Christmas
is right side up.
That's right. The way it should be, the way God made trees to grow, from the ground up is where you're going to put your tree. I feel like I'm the kind of guy that I like the structure and normalcy. That would be way too much bizarreness for me to look into a room and see a tree growing basically from the ceiling down.
It's like some kind of artsy-fartsy crap.
It's artsy. Yes, Chris. Well said. Well said, Chris, homeboy. Homeboy Chris. Chris, homeboy Chris, same thing. I am not for this. It would throw off my equilibrium in every way. Not interested.
Robot Brad would be don't need
it. Yep.
Yeah.
I'd be malfunctioning.
I don't even know. I mean, I think
this is not a good idea.
I think it's cool for a restaurant, but not in a home. I mean, that was a very interesting take because of the fact it was well, you know what? Having the tree upside down from the ceiling.
Would you in your home?
No, but in a established, if I looked inside the 3rd Street Market Hall and saw upside down trees, I would think, oh, that's unique and creative.
Would you like it? There's a normal tree right over there in the 3rd Street Market Hall.
I would not like it. It's interesting, actually. If
I went to a restaurant and they had an upside down Christmas tree, I'd leave.
See, for me, I think if I saw an upside down Christmas tree, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never seen one, so I don't want to judge one. It sounds wonky, but it also sounds like it saves space. I'm not doing it in my home, but I would. If there was one in the 3rd Street Market Hall, I'd be interesting.
I'll take a picture by it.
It would have to be a kooky kind of place, right? It'd have to be really lean into a
weird Willy Wonka's
vibe.
Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why I don't like that.
But there's a lot of Christmas bars around Milwaukee and around the country, and that would fit in a Christmas type bar.
It's almost like you got stuff hanging off strings, and it's like a chandelier, but it's a Christmas tree.
I like the take.
There has to be some abnormal vibe to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Then I think I might be able to get onto that.
Yeah, I guess if I'm going somewhere in July 10th and I see a Christmas tree upside down in the decor, I'm like, what is this? Why is there a pine tree upside down?
Hit it.
What's up, everybody? Recurring take artist here for the KBN show. My hot take of the week is, if the Packers go 1-3 down the stretch and don't make the playoffs, Matt LaFleur will be looking for a new job. Happy holidays.
Yeah, hot. That's a good take. It's a good take. I would.
So 7-10.
Yeah.
See, but it's not 1-3. It's actually one of his last 5. He won
1 of 4.
Yeah, one of his last 5.
Oh, okay.
I mean, 1 and 4 last 5.
It's an interesting take. I don't think, based off what we understand about this organization and franchise, that they have something called patience, and I don't think they'll let them go. I feel like I've seen enough from this organization that they're moving in the right direction that I can say, you know what, Matt LaFleur deserves another year to be with Jordan Love, because the last thing I want to do is have Jordan Love, after having somebody for 4 years, being an offense for 4 years, then second year he's a starter, have to start over with a new offensive coordinator, new head coach. It just seems like a lot of newness that could disrupt what we're trying to build.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see him getting fired. It's not the Packer way, really. I do think his seat would be warm next year, and it's we better be at least a wild card team next year for you to stay the long-term coach of the Green Bay Packers. I do think the pressure would come down, though, to say, make some changes and make them fast. So that's where you'd see Joe Barry being gone, maybe changes on the offensive staff, something to rattle the cage a little bit to send a message.
I don't hate this take because we've talked about it. The Goody-LaFleur dynamic is not strong. No, there's nothing.
Yes, you are.
No, this is. I'm reacting to the take. I didn't say, Kyle, that they're going to go one for the last 4. Or yeah, did I?
So do you think?
No. Let me. Did I say that?
No, I'm
reacting to the fact that the take maker said if they go 1 and 3 their last 4, and it's a good take. It's a fair take if they do that. If they damn well, oh God.
But
what's creepier, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory or the Mickey Mouse creepy laugh?
That's what you sound like.
I'm gonna bust you in the head.
Isn't 7 and 10 exactly what expectations are?
They were.
Expectations change.
They would have sure changed. That would get you fired.
Ben just wants to bring the Maddie Mouse. Mine was right the whole time. My team did this, and then this happened. He's cheating because he knows he'll bring the voice out.
No. I literally just don't want to have a vein pop out today. I'm having a good day and you're ruining it. Do we have another, Chris?
That's it for the Take Machine this week.
All right, good. Before I blow my brain, Kyle, you're annoying me.
In Minecraft.
Tell us about Gina Dell from Pella.
I
need a
love
break.
to, because it's not a hot take to say that Gina Dell from Pella and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, they always deliver. They have not only durable products, but beautiful. They are quality. They are a treat for the eyes. I've even seen these doors with the blinds between the glass for both the doors and the windows. That is a Christmas present that you can give to yourself right now, and you don't even have to pay for it for another year and a half. That's right. You can replace your leaky, your drafty windows and doors with Pella, and you have to put no money down, make no payments, and no interest for 18 months. They are diligent and fast with their installation all year round in as little as a day. But hurry, just like the Christmas season, it does not last forever. The deal ends December 31st. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Kyle Wallace is the most annoying person on the planet. Kyle Brust Nortman continues next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, presented by Bud Light.
When I'm, again, doing the Pack Arena, and as a shareholder, when I'm sizing up my ring, I'm sizing up my ring
Pack Arena right now.
1 pack, 2 pack, 3 pack arena.
Hey.
What's the rest of the words? Jordan loves Christian Watson. Hey. That's a touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. Wisconsin linebacker Jordan Turner announced Wednesday on X that he is entering the transfer portal. Turner was a starter at linebacker each of the last 2 seasons for Wisconsin and now heads elsewhere. Turner finished the season with 61 tackles and 6.5 tackles for loss. Former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr reacts on Rutledge and Hamilton on ESPN Madison.
Jordan has been a starter here for years now. Even under the old staff, he was a starter. It hurts in that regard because it's just hard to replace production and leadership.
Unwrap your gift now, but pay later. Right now at Pella, put no money down, no payment, and no interest for up to 18 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruberg Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Elevate your celebrations this holiday season at Fiserv Forum. Immerse yourself in the festive spirit with our exclusive spaces designed for comfort and joy. From the first cheer to the final buzzer, create memories that last. Whether you want an intimate gathering or a grand affair, our spaces can host both small and large groups. Make your holidays unforgettable at Fiserv Forum. Visit bucks.com/holiday hosting for more details and to book your space today.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview of the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm Vice President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
ESPN Wisconsin. Kyle Wallace and I made up in the break. Brad Nortman, 6-time 6-year NFL punter.
Did we? I feel like you just kind of said some choice words and walked out.
Yeah, that's
exactly
what happened.
So I took a walk and that's what happened. I took a walk and now I'm feeling better.
Got something to eat?
Yeah, I got a little snack. Maybe I was getting a little hangry.
Now you good, huh?
Yeah, I'm
You take
good.
back what you said or no?
No, hell no.
Okay.
What'd I say?
Well, you called us soft female dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, that was in the break. Yeah, that wasn't on the show. I was like, what did I say on the show?
No, I
stand by that. You know, if there's one honest thing that I said during the break was y'all soft.
Neither of us pushed back though on him.
That's what I'm saying.
We took it just like female dogs.
and then I left the room and you guys were probably like, hey, how's it going?
We did. We pivoted to something else.
You guys were like, hey, everything's good.
You ain't gonna bring me down.
I hate that laugh. It's like the Happy Gilmore clown. I hate that clown.
That's what you sound like when you put in the little Matty Mouse voice.
I've retired Matty Mouse.
But that's what you sound like. So when you
don't do this. Don't do this.
Okay.
Let's go to Bill in Green Bay. Bill, welcome into Kyle Brust Nortman. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Benny, I want to put you on assignment and get a little picking on Kyle here. He's talking about Gilbert Brown, the grave digger. I want you to get Grave Digger on the phone. Get him in on my show and show all three of you guys what Grave Digger can do.
Yeah, see, but Bill in Green Bay, before the show, actually, I want to do the hump on him. I was going to hump on Kyle. I was going to do the Reggie White. And then he got scared. He didn't want to do it for social video.
Right, because he's not only big, he called him fat. He's not only big, but he's one of the strongest guys on
You
that
did call
team.
Gilbert Brown fat.
He's quick too. He was quick.
I did not say he was not quick. I just listen. If you
Thanks, Bill.
Have you
call him a fatty?
He is a fatty. Listen, his dang belly hung all the way down below his knees. He was a fatty. He was a big fatty. That's okay. He was my fatty. How about that? I like big boned men. How about that?
I mean, didn't he have
cut fat?
Didn't he have a cheeseburger?
He had the Gilbert Brown meal.
Yeah,
sure
it was
did.
like massive.
Yeah, exactly. Skinny folks don't have that. He's a fat boy, and I love it.
Do you think the three of us padded up could like defend him for 4 seconds?
No, back in the day, no. He was 340 pounds. No, we would fall over.
Jason chimes in on YouTube and says Gilbert Brown.
I think we'd fail too.
Jason on YouTube says that Gilbert Brown could dunk. I don't know if he's talking about basketballs or cookies.
He was 6'2". I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
If he could dunk, that would be unbelievable.
I'm not saying that he wasn't athletic.
I mean, I don't know. You ever see some of these linemen bat down balls?
He's fat, though. Just because you're athletic doesn't mean you can't be fat.
You can be fat and quick.
He's still fat today.
Yeah.
I had an example, but I don't think it's worth going to that one.
I don't even no clue where you're going.
Kyle, you went to an event last night, and tell us about your experiences going to events because you're an odd duck.
Yeah, so great event I went to last night. I'll say it. I mean, I'm good with saying it. So at our sister station W620 WTMJ, Jeff Wagner is retiring. Congratulations on 25 years. It's wonderful. Congrats to him. But got an invite to go to the event, and I just feel like as a manager, I need to go to certain things and show face. And so I also do like Jeff. And so I decided I wanted to go to this. But the one thing I'm always kind of just a little iffy about going to things is I don't like going to things because I have to interact with those around me. Like, that is the hardest thing, is when I go to it, I have to interact. That's why I never show up first and I never leave last, and I rarely will take my jacket off because I don't want people to think I'm going to get too comfortable, because when I get in there, I don't know what to talk about with people. So I kind of go in there, mosey around, and try to say hi, but I don't know how to sustain a real conversation with my colleagues or just human beings that won't talk about
what's wrong with you, man? Are you an adult?
Just take interest in their lives.
But do we really care about your dog? Do we really care about the kids I never met?
So are you saying when I show pictures of my dog, you're like, put that away?
How many times, Ben? We've been doing this show for how long? 4 months, maybe
3 months.
How many times?
You guys are keeping track. I don't even
How many times has Brad or I say, "How the dog doing? How Benny and Butch doing? How are they doing? Bucky, what's the dog?
Bruce and Bentley.
Bruce and Bentley.
See, you're pissing me off today.
I'm sorry. How are Bruce and Bentley doing? How many times have we said that? How many times has Chris asked about your dogs?
How many times do I ask, like, how things are going? Like, what's your mom think of the show? Or how's your girlfriend doing?
You rarely, never.
Well, more than
so
you really don't either.
That's what I'm saying, is that so I don't do it.
That's because you don't care about Benny and Butch.
I don't care about Benny and Butch, the imaginary dog.
Bruce and Bentley.
I'm just saying, going to those.
That's fighting words. See, you're really. Was your goal today to piss me off?
It was. Because
you're doing a great job.
It was an honest accident. But here's the thing: that I don't want to go walk up to somebody and call their kids the wrong name. I don't know their name.
How the kids doing?
How the kids? But do I really care? Do I really care? No. And so the most awkward thing for me is going to events like last night where I have to socially interact and engage with people outside of the office. In the office,
it's called liquid courage.
I had one drink and I was ready to go. I stayed and I left, but having to go and interact with people outside of work is just so much because you gotta.
Have you ever hung out with anybody from work outside of work?
No, I have never. No.
Not even like a quick
break. So a non-corporate function.
Wait a minute. There's one time after our truth anniversary party last year, I did go out with a couple people after. But other than that, no.
So wait. So Brad and I and you, Kyle, go out, to meet and hang out.
That one time
we did have dinner once. So that was one.
Does that count, or do you consider that work?
I mean, that was a work-related event
because we had to get to know one another.
Yeah. So it was. Had it been like some random night, I might have said, I don't know, guys, my tooth, and like I'm probably not gonna come. But I thugged it out for y'all.
Man, I'll tell you what. If we ever get Kyle Wallace outside of the studio to hang out, we will know that we accomplished something.
If we ever, we don't even hang out outside the studio now.
I stop by your office all the time.
Exactly, work-related.
No, just to we don't work directly together.
I stopped exactly, and then we can control the situation
talk to you
for like 2 minutes, which is perfect for me. I love that. Keep doing that. In and out. Brad's never been in my office.
Get a timer.
That's true. I've only walked by the office.
You should get a timer. You're here for work.